There's hardly any week that passes by without some bizarre news of unthinkable criminal activities in some parts of the country. Well, this week, it was the news of the escape from police custody of 19-year-old Sunday Shodipo that left many wondering whether this escape really happened. The suspect was initially arrested in July as a member of a gang suspected to have masterminded several killings in Akinyele, Oyo State. But police authorities have already launched a manhunt with some of his officers under interrogation. Thanks for joining us on Crime Watch. I'm Ivy Kano. Call it prison break or escape from the law, and you may not be over-dramatizing security developments in Oyo State. Residents there are currently living in fear as a suspected serial killer is now on the loose. 19-year-old Sunday Shodipo escaped from police custody 4 weeks after he was arrested, paraded, and locked up in connection with several killings in Akinyele local government area of the state. While the long arm of the law is yet to catch up with Sunday Shodipo, same cannot be said for the man tagged Port Harcourt serial killer Gracious David West, accused of killing 7 women in different hotels across 3 states. Gracious David West has been on trial for 9 months. The suspect will soon know his fate as the State High Court in Port Harcourt is set to deliver judgment.
This court sitting was for counsels to adopt and respond to their final written addresses in the matter that began on the 20th of November 2019. The prosecution is demanding the death penalty for the first defendant, while the defense counsel argued that his client's guilt was not proven beyond reasonable doubt as required by law. The second defendant faces a lighter sentence of 2 years in prison if convicted for moving the corpse of one of the victims from a hotel in Port Harcourt without legal authorization.
Their death came as a result of the act of the first defendant, who in his own extrajudicial statement confessed to the crime. He confessed to the crime and gave a detailed account of how he met his victims and lured them to the various hotels and murdered them by asphyxiation or strangulation.
They failed to call the medical pathologist, who should be cross-examined, and cross-examination is the hallmark of proceedings in court. Now they failed to bring that medical pathologist who carried out a medical autopsy according to them.
The prosecution had not been able to prove its case, and for that reason we pray to the Honorable Court that the second defendant be discharged and acquitted.
Both legal teams also disagreed over the credibility of evidence tendered before the court by the state.
In the CCTV camera that was brought before the court, after he denied that he did not go to any of those hotels, we had to go get the CCTV camera from Imperial Hotel at Trasamadi, showing him coming into that hotel with a lady, and he booked a room in that hotel with the lady. In the morning, they discovered that the lady was dead. He was not there.
That video clip was tendered when the first defendant was being cross-examined, and then the prosecution has closed their case, and therefore it did not give the prosecution, the first defendant, an opportunity, or even the defendants or at all, to cross-examine on those evidence.
Once again, the first defendant created a scene in protest over alleged ill treatment by officials of the correctional services.
I could see it. You can discover it.
The trial judge, Justice Adolphus Enebeli, adjourned the matter till the 9th of October 2020 for delivery of judgment.
It was with shock and fear that some Lagosians watched on as a female traffic warden was beaten to a pulp while in the line of duty in Ajambadi area of the state. Anger and disgust was what many Nigerians expressed when they watched the video that has now gone viral online, with many calling for the arrest of the man later uncovered as a fake soldier. Yemi Ayeni has been arrested by the Lagos Police Command. He says he was dismissed from the Nigerian Army on the grounds of mental health. That video caused outrage on social media when it went viral, with lots of people calling for the arrest of the man who in the video claimed to be an army officer. Now in chains, he came face to face with the woman he brutalized. Married with a child, 32-year-old Yemi Ayeni said he didn't know what came over him.
So immediately I saw her, then I came down, at least to challenge her. That's where the anger came and started flooding her. I'm very sorry. That's the only thing I know I can say for now. I'm very sorry. It's out of annoyance, please. Beg the Nigerian women and Nigerian women to have mercy on me. It will never happen again. I'm very sorry.
The inspector, whose bruises all over her body was covered by her uniform, spoke on how she was molested while on duty.
There's a vehicle come and block the whole road, on the middle of the road, the charging passenger and the picking passenger. And when there, I carry my baton and knock on the body of the bus, say, please driver, move, move. See the traffic, say, madam, I'm sorry, sir. Stand there, go back and continue my duty. I see a man come, knock me, say, madam. So I'm the one who knocked the bus like that. I not see him inside the bus. I said, I'm not talking to you, please. I'm talking to the driver. But now he carry leg, hit me on my belly. He carry stick, beginning flogging me.
The Commissioner of Police, speaking through his police public relations officer, says such treatment is unacceptable, and they will use the case to send signal to the public on how not to disrespect a security personnel or any female.
The driver is doing that because this man sat in the front, claiming to be a military man, giving him power to do what he's doing. The driver on his own obeyed and he moved to the vehicle away. But this man stepped down to challenge her. You cannot assault a police officer or any law enforcement agent and go scot-free. The law is there to defend them also, to protect them. These are also parents. She's somebody's wife, she's somebody's mother, she's somebody's sister. She is a citizen of Nigeria, she is a Nigerian like any other person that deserves also some level of respect and protection. So we cannot watch, because this would also may demoralize our personnel if they have been attacked while carrying out their lawful duty and nothing is done to protect them.
The police said the suspect will be charged as soon as investigation is concluded.
Let me just clear this. He was never and is never a military personnel. Never. Not a soldier. A military personnel. Never. So he enlisted in the NDI in the north at Zaria. So now was there for about 10 weeks. I was dismissed from there. Now he has no means of livelihood. We try to move in now. Where does he actually live? He lives with somebody. He abandoned somebody within the barracks there. We have carried out our research, our investigation on him. So never a soldier at all. Was never commissioned, was a dismissed recruit from Nigerian Military School in Zaria. So not a military man.
Efforts are on to put an end to killings in the Southern Senatorial District of Kaduna State. The pursuit for peace in Kaduna has received a boost. That's following the deployment of additional security personnel to the troubled parts of the state. The show of strength from government is expected to strike fear in the hearts of criminal elements and quell the unrest.
Motorcycles, trucks, and these troops are the latest arrivals in Kafanchan. headquarters of Jama'a local government area of the state. These assets are on a mission to end the sad tales of killings and destruction of properties in the southern senatorial district of Kaduna State. They are told to ensure they effectively deliver on the mandate.
As directed by the governor of the state, we welcome you and we want to assure you that we are with you in spirit and we are with you in this noble cause of ensuring peace and stabilizing the general area.
Citizens across the area are elated at the development. They want the special forces and other security personnel meant to keep the peace to rid the area of criminals. They are hopeful for a soon return to their farms, which they say many have been abandoned to fear.
Really passed through many challenges. So we really suffered during that time. So now we thank God.
These special forces that they arrive now, honestly, we have a little change. We have a little change, but we really need peace.
We are happy because everything we are doing it freely, and we're going to our shop or work. Everything, all of our activities is moving well.
Jama'a, with headquarters as Kafanchan and Kaura local government areas of the state, have only come out of a dusk to dawn curfew. The locals hope the situation in Kauru and Zangon Katav will also be dubbed satisfactory soon. The special forces have been welcomed to the state and are charged to remain committed to the cause. They are to partner other security personnel keeping the peace to ensure southern Kaduna is safe and the killing stopped.
It has been months of sleepless nights for government and security operatives following the wave of insecurity across the country. While special forces have been deployed in some troubled spots, the police have now commenced a clampdown on illegal possession of arms with governorship elections in Edo and Ondo State on the horizon. But if this is not a new strategy, what difference could it make at this time? That will be when we come back. I had a chat with security experts Lanre Suraj on the spate of insecurity and killings across the country. He says government must address the socio-economic gap within the polity and invest more on intelligence gathering.
Security is not just about the peace for you to employ the service of police and then also employ the service of military men, or even put these military men on the street and on the road to prevent the breakdown of law and order. It is also not about the amount of weapons that you're able to buy. So when you compare the number of policemen, even that of other military personnel in the country to the number of the citizens, then you know that we're far away from the issue of providing security by just the number of men and ammunition that we have. And the critical importance of security is about social security. So it is about creating jobs for people. It's about the security of their welfare, the access to affordable and quality healthcare services, the accessibility of them to education and other social facilities that would make life meaningful for them. And in the absence of that, it is inevitable. And most of the governors, rather than use the resources of the country and of the people for providing some of these securities, they would rather do what they call the security votes, of just buying ammunitions and arms for the security, the personnel, and the rest of that, leaving the majority of the people, leaving an army of unemployed young people. I mean, the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, even by the 2018 report, already showed that about 23 million people are out of job. The only thing that we have not even done over the years is the use of intelligence, either native or sophisticated intelligence. The country and the military system have deliberately or consciously refused to allow the use of intelligence for the purpose of actually quelling insecurity or even stopping the proliferation of small arms within the system. And all attempts at just using this ad hoc, episodic system of saying, oh, mop up small arms, arrest anybody with, illegal or legal arms for the purpose of trying to quell insecurity. It's just a complete waste of time. It is just a mere propaganda. It is just an attempt at showing that something is happening, not necessarily that something is happening. Those who possess arms and ammunition for the purpose of civil strife or criminality are not doing it for people to see. So they are not the kind of people that you see carrying arms and ammunition on the road and you want to say, oh, bring it down. You're not talking to a disarmament situation that people are already encouraged to hand over their arms for the purpose of any form of motivation. But just saying, arrest, but how many, you will arrest criminals with guns, most that are using the weapons for the purpose of what we are criticizing are having illegal possession of arms. So I'm not sure of how many people have legal possession of arms that are being used for some of these situations. You don't even need to actually decentralize a current police structure. I mean, for you to do community policing. The Amotekun idea would have been a very lofty idea, really, to assess, community in dealing with the issue of insecurity and also intelligence gathering. But unfortunately, very typical of our politicians, it was politicized. It became just a weapon for political campaign, horse trading, abuse trading, and the rest of that, rather than focusing on the initiative, rather than focusing on the objective purpose of, setting up that platform, rather than collaborating and also empowering, those that would work on the Amotekun idea to ensure that you have something that can not just assist the community, but that can also help the whole larger structure of policing in the country. It is not about the security of the Southwest. You can't have security in the Southwest when there is insecurity in other parts of the country. I mean, you must be joking.
Now let's bring you some other crime news.
The police in Imo has paraded 67 persons suspected to be members of the indigenous people of Biafra over unlawful assembly. Briefing journalists in Owerri, the Commissioner of Police, Isaac Akimoede, said operatives of the 34th Field Artillery Brigade intercepted members of the group. According to the Commissioner, investigations revealed that the suspects were arrested on their way to a native doctor in Egbema for protection against bullet penetration. The suspects, who alleged brutality by the military, maintain they are peaceful citizens of the state.
Operatives of the 34th Field Artillery Brigade, while on duty at Umahu, the Egbema checkpoint, intercepted 67 members of this IPOP and called for reinforcement from Divisional Police Headquarters at Egbema, and they were obliged. The operatives of the division mobilized to the scene and assisted in evacuation of the suspects to Divisional Police Headquarters for further action. It was, however, revealed that the suspects were on their way to native doctor to fortify themselves against bullet penetration.
Since I was born, all that chuku be mamala mlafube ona lo tu nwoke mkpọtara mmadụ bụ onye mmemme ọgwụ ya bụ ọgwụ achere ọbla bata amaghị m dukwagira m lako.
We are going on our own business. We have no gun, we have nothing. We didn't fight, we didn't quarrel. They started molesting us, they started beating us, giving all sorts of treatment. Look at my head. My head was broken. Till now, I've not gotten myself. All over my back. All the places. We were beating up everybody.
The Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, has ordered for the rearrest of a suspected serial killer, Sunday Shodipe, who escaped from the custody of the Oyo State Police Command. Condemning the unfortunate escape of the suspect, Mr. Adamu asked the Commissioner of Police in Oyo to intensify efforts and ensure his prompt rearrest. The Force Public Relations Officer, Frank Mba, disclosed this in a statement on Wednesday. According to him, the police commissioner had also been directed to speed up investigations into the circumstances that led to the escape of the suspect. Mr. Mba explained that the IGP has deployed additional investigative aids to Oyo to complement the efforts of the State Police Command in the ongoing manhunt. The Air Force Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole has killed 20 leaders of the Islamic State of West African Province and destroyed some logistics base in Bukar Meram, Borno State. According to a statement by the coordinator of the Defense Media Operations, Major General John Enenche, the attack at Dole was carried out after intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance missions showed a build-up of activities in the area. Bukar Meram is a major ISWAP logistics hub linking other island settlements of the Lake Chad, which also houses several of their fighters and some of their key leaders. No fewer than 20 terrorists were spotted in the area and were killed by the NAF attack aircraft. The family of the slain Bauchi lawmaker Musa Mante has regained freedom after 5 days. Police Public Relations Officer in Bauchi State, Ahmed Wakili, confirmed that they were rescued by the police on Monday at about 11 p.m. He added that no ransom was paid and they have been taken to the teaching hospital in Bauchi. Mr. Mante's wives and child were abducted by gunmen after killing him at his residence in Das local government area of Bauchi. As part of the preparations towards the upcoming elections in Edo and Ondo states, the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, has ordered commissioners of all states and Federal Capital Territory to identify and arrest any individual or groups in possession of prohibited firearms. In a statement, Force Public Relations Officer Frank Mba says the move is necessary due to the deliberate arming and movement of political thugs and other criminal elements across the country. Commissioners of police have also been directed to convene an enlightenment meeting of all vigilance groups and security outfits to ensure that their activities conform with laws guiding their establishment and operations. Rape is one of the fastest rising violent crimes in Nigeria. Here are some tips to prevent rape. Avoid unsafe situations and strangers. If you are being followed, go to the nearest police station or any place with several people. Avoid walking alone. Walk with someone in areas where other people are near. Stay away from dark alleys, bushes, and entryways. Flee if you are in a potentially dangerous situation. Yell or scream to attract attention. You can carry a whistle that will make a loud noise. Engage in passive resistance by talking your way out of the situation, or active resistance by reacting to startle your attacker. Don't allow a stranger inside your home use the telephone. Leave the outside lights on at night and in more than one room.
And that's our program today. Thanks for watching. You can send in eyewitness pictures and videos to our email address and social media handles. It's coming up on your screen now. I'm Ivy Kano. I'll be back same time next week.